Hello everyone, and welcome back to Hat USA. Yes, this week's special hat is a very fine piece. It is a piece of Hittite. It's pure art, okay? It is the foam dome. It can hold 4 of your favorite canned beverages. On the top, it can hold your nacho cheese and keep it hot during, whatever Hittite football game we're sitting through. And then around the brim is where all the chips sit. There is even an expansion pack for the hat that you can buy that will help hold several different salsas. So it is the Hat USA salsa hat. Take it to your favorite football match. Don't forget, folks. Always shop at Hat USA for all your hat needs, or I guess Hatusha, whatever we want to call it. I still say it's Hat USA. Hopefully, you'll agree with it. Welcome to everybody who is here live, and welcome to those who are watching this afterwards. For those of you maybe not familiar yet with the new schedule I'm working on, I will be streaming 3 times a week to cover my single-player videos, and right now that includes a couple of Warhammer campaigns and this campaign. I will also be throwing new games in there every now and then, so we might skip one week and go through there, but we'll be playing these campaigns to the end. I'm going to make this as watchable as possible for someone who is watching it afterwards. So I will do most of my interacting with the live audience during turn-ins or other breaks. Of course, you can just use the slider if you're watching this afterwards to just bump right on through those. So in any case, hopefully you all enjoy it. Now, the last episode we played as Suppiluliuma. Boy, we had a lot going on. We had some setbacks as we lost Suppiluliuma's army, and we find ourselves near surrounded with war. I think we were able to get most of our flanks safe. We have this one way out here, but we obviously need to come over here and focus against Phrygia. Now, it's interesting that we're focusing against Phrygia because they have that awesome Phrygian cap, and we are the owners of Hat USA. So I suppose that we need to go take over Phrygia and add their hats to our own. They'll become part of the Hat USA collective, somewhat like the Hat board. But in any case, we are bleeding food because we have to have more armies than we're able to maintain. In a future Pharaoh campaign, if I play one, I may mess with the sliders in terms of like upkeep cost. But yeah, in any case, we'll see. Just to make sure real quick, as I am streaming, can someone in the chat confirm that you can hear me in the live chat? I'm pretty sure you can because I hear them see them making comments about the hats. But I just want to make sure before I end up spending 2 hours talking and no one is listening because the audio does not work right. Alright, good battle reports. Let's see what kind of reminders. We got a royal decree available, which is our research. And let's see. None of the research has been very exciting, I have to say. I mentioned that in the last episode, so I'm not going to cover it in great detail again, but I do feel like they should probably take some time looking at the research tree. It's just, most of them are very unexciting, and you really have to kind of go through it kind of like a corn maze here. So I'm just not sure that I'm a huge fan of it. Yeah, in any case, let's jump out of here. So I'm actually just going to kind of work my way. It'll take 27 turns, but this one's extra 15 armor and melee defense faction line. That's a big deal. It says unit experience rank 9 chariots. Does this mean that that only applies to rank 9 chariots? If so, again, that's so weird. So I'm not sure like what to think of some of this stuff. Yeah, I see a building type, all buildings. So I think this only applies to chariots. Oh well, it'll still be useful for chariots. We're going to be depending on those. I guess I don't like the way that screen reads very well right now. It's a little complicated and it's got a lot going on. Alright, well the audio is working, which means I have not wasted my time talking to just myself. That is always a good sign. Let's take a judgment, or take a ruling. I think we have to click the... Oh, you've already used this ability for this year. Oh, fine. I used it for this year? I don't see it back here? Whatever. Honestly, I haven't figured out how to make the most of the court yet. I've just been doing this gossiping and then using that to make requests or to plot against people. We'll kind of just play it as we go there. We have settlement upgrades available. We are picking up a pretty good amount of stone and a decent bit of wood right now, so we could probably go ahead and upgrade some buildings. Also, someone was pointing out that we probably need to spend some time building these outposts, especially if we're looking to get influence. So if I go... We haven't played with the... And I want to say that we can get legitimacy from them as well. So we probably need to be playing both of those. So like local deities, for instance, we haven't really picked up any influence with this deity, and we probably should. That's rating income, though. Can we change deities? Hittite gods. Shrines. 100 experience per turn, influence +7, prayer, extra melee attack this army. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, it's better than rating income, that's for sure. Immunity to desert attrition when we do the prayer. Morale. Wow, huge drop in morale for enemy armies in this region. And it drops a ton of... Devoted General gets 28 armor for that army. Wow. That's a lot. I mean, all of that looks way better than Arena, in my opinion. Like, I don't... Maybe that's just because that was the starting one. Charge bonus plus 25%. I mean, I'm going to try this one real quick. We're going to worship here. It costs me... It's going to cost 150 gold, and it's going to take 3 turns until we convert all the right buildings. Let's go ahead and do that, though. And... Let's see here. So do these convert automatically, then? Yeah, it looks like that one's converting, for instance. That one probably has to be repaired before it converts, I'm assuming. Alright, so yeah, these Hittite monuments give us legitimacy, so we could be building those. Military outpost. Okay, and that's under administrative. You cannot construct this building as a province already contains the max. Okay, so we can only put 1 in each province. This one gains us influence in the province. Economic, religious. This one gives us 50 favor. And only costs stone to build. Let's build that. Can you build one in each settlement? Let's build a couple of those and kind of see how it helps us. We'll go ahead and save our stone through this turn end. We're still going to have 11 action pendings. Let's take care of the commandments, though. To good old Hat USA. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this Royal Garden ones again, just because it kind of gives me a bonus on everything. We've got to take care of this bronze issue. I wanted to say that, yeah, there's some bronze off to the north of us here. I'm wondering if I can take... Let's take a look at... I don't think we're going to have, like, any sudden rebellions. We could. I need that bronze settlement, and I need it bad. And it looks like the fastest way to get to it may be actually along that road there.
March, men.
Yeah, we've got to get to the bronze. And then we'll need more food, but food can be had a lot easier. It's more widely available. We do have unassigned skill points as well for both of our generals, so let's take care of those. Again, I'm going to keep dumping this into the upkeep cost reduction because I'm desperate to reduce my upkeep costs both for bronze and food at this point. I don't feel like I have another option. We can put another one of these titles on here too, it looks like. Inspired by Sharuma. This one's going to grant the Inspire ability, which helps boost morale. Target on self or an ally as long as they're not climbing. This one would be extra recruitment rank. Reduced morale penalties from being flanked. Now that's pretty sick, actually. Could be very helpful. Let's go ahead and assign that one. And that one would have probably been good on Suppiluliuma as well, but it's not available at the moment because he's already got 2 titles on him. Okay. It helped my upkeep costs some. Not a lot, but it's slowly
Righteous King of
helping.
Hatti.
We need way more. We are getting a lot of stone. We could be able to trade some of that stone to offset the food. I'm not super worried about food at the moment. We should be able to win it through battles. We'll see. I'm gonna get some of your comments here. Legamus says we need some Gilgamesh. Boy, that's true. I mean, I don't know who he is, but with a name like that, you can't go wrong. And then Francesco is talking about the Phrygian cap. He calls it the Smurf hat. That's right. We're gonna be getting a huge supply of Smurf hats, folks. Those guys are headed towards their settlements. I think that's my vassal, I believe. So I'm glad they're helping me, but I also am not glad they're taking up settlements that I want and that I wish to earn. I'm the one winning all the big battles here, and they aren't. I'm gonna move up to that border. Still gonna check what the fastest route is here. Yeah, and it's looking like that is still the fastest route. We could go ahead and stop here. That'll drop the upkeep cost of that army for, I think, a few turns. Oh yeah, that helps. I wish it did something for the bronze, but at least it drops the food upkeep, so gotta make sure we use those outposts. Okay, let's check out our court actions.
The 1,000 gods bear witness. We are called to noble work.
What kind of requests do we get from these guys? And I think this is the one that makes, like, increase the morale and melee defense of all bodyguard units by 10% faction-wide until the next Shimsu Horror. It's not bad. What else can we get here? Connections and assassinate. Elite warriors, we've already got access to them. Can't do that one either. Already been used, but I like embezzling. It's my favorite. What else are we supposed to do? Alright, I'm just gonna keep gaining some intrigue here. Alright, we got a good amount of wood back. Let's check out some of our buildings and see if there's anything we can do to improve food. Bronze, I don't know that there's anything we can do at the moment, but possibly food. Like, this is a... No, that one's just a happiness increase. But I think we had the happiness increase there because we've been struggling over here to kind of solidify. But happiness is looking good now in this province. We could upgrade the capital, the provincial capital at Ziplandia. We take a look over here in Hattusha. We've got a food production here. I can only build one food production building. I wonder if there's anything that buffs food production, happiness, workforce growth, influence. This one gives like an extra 20 food income, and it gives workforce growth. That kind of seems like a win-win here. I don't think there's anything I'd rather have. I'll give siege... Oh, that one provides a nice garrison, though. We probably do want the garrisons, but I don't have the workforce for it, I believe. Oh, we gotta upgrade the main settlement, that's right, to tier 3. Let's do that. I'm gonna save it. Those garrisons, to me, seem like they're gonna be handy here, because otherwise we're gonna be in trouble. Let's see, can we build here as well? Go ahead and upgrade this settlement. That gives us a gold tier unit there as well. Okay. Anything else huge here? I don't think so. Just end our turn. More stone for the slingers, that's right. I don't know why my bot is getting so aggressive. Hold on just a second, folks. I'm gonna go take a look at my bot. Take it easy there. Classic AI, yeah, this, I don't know why Francesco got... Let me go take a look at my bot real quick. For those watching this afterwards, apologize, you can skip ahead a second. I have a moderator bot because I don't always have a moderator with me. So it's being a little bit overly touchy with people right now, so I'm gonna go see if I can tweak the settings on it just a little bit. Okay, you already had access to all this. I don't know why it's asking me to do all this again. Like, I try and log into Streamlabs and it's like doing the login process all over again, and it's like, you've already done this. Shouldn't have to ask me all these questions 50 times. Hey, come on. Log me in already. There we go. Cloud bots. Alright, there it is. Cloud bots. Got it on like minimum. Link protection, symbol, case, word protection. I don't understand why it is going after you all. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Alright, well, I'm not going to mess with it right now because I'm midstream, so yeah, sorry Francesco, I don't know why it's going after you. And YouTube, of course, their moderator chat functions for... You know what, I could just turn it off. I'm just going to turn it off real quick. Let me go back to it. Bot off. Yeah, just chill out there, moderator. Okay, I turned it off. If someone comes and starts spamming us, I'll turn it back on, but hopefully that will take care of it. They want a ton of gold for a ton of bronze. I have a bunch of gold, and I'm gaining, whereas on bronze I'm kind of hurt, and I need a supply to help me for a while, so this honestly might be kind of a good deal here for me. That'll take care of my bronze situation for quite some time, actually, so that's helpful. These guys want bronze, and they are offering a non-aggression pact for a single barter of it. Let's go ahead and accept that as well. I just got that huge chunk of bronze. I don't mind having some non-aggression pacts right now because, boy, I felt like we were buried in wars there. Alright, so we have an ambition. What can we accomplish? Have at least 2,000 gold. And then our reward is we get gold prestige, which gives us extra diplomatic stuff. But we have to do it within 10 turns. I think we were earning like Eagle 800. I don't know if we could do that within the 10 turns. Now, this is an interesting one here. Construct a bronze resource building. If we do it within 10 turns, we get 1,000 bronze. I know we could do this one because I have a wood building thing to be upgraded. I want to go for this ambition because I'm headed towards that bronze producing settlement. I don't know if we'll be able to take it though. It depends on what kind of army the AI has back there. But let's attempt it. We should be able to get to it in another couple of turns, maybe.
To prosperity.
We were in control of Enkaira once.
Take the walls.
We have to build some siege equipment. I think I'm just going to work on some wall sapping. I hate how long this takes. It takes way too long to build siege equipment when we have a full stack army like this. I do hope that CA does something about that, because this slows down the campaign so much. Like, to an annoying degree. There's a lot of siege battles that take place in this game, and they just slow things down to a snail's pace. And I don't like it. Don't like it. Happiness looks good in both my settlements. I'm upgrading this. We need to put defenses in there. This is unlocking different recruitment for us, which would eventually allow chariots, so let's go ahead and work on that for now. I've got the resources to do so. We should have a court action to handle.
Be seated, peers of the court. We
Can't do any of the fun stuff, so I guess I'll just gossip all year.
I used to be this close to someone only when I gutted them.
General pending. Let's see about our outpost here, by the way, as well. Upkeep of units stationed in the fort. So if we ever needed to drop upkeep costs, you could have a fort like this. And then the army units from the fort will reinforce the region's garrison during siege. With that, sounds like a pretty good deal. So let's do that. And then this one actually adds the garrison. I guess I kind of need both those buildings ideally. going to build a couple of those because we've got the capability to do so. Otherwise, I need some movement points back. Francesca says you can use ladders. You can. Some of their units, though, are pretty well armored, and my swords, honestly, are not great at hacking through that. Oh, those guys already took Espona there, so at least don't have to worry about them from the south. And it looks like they're sending an army my direction. If they get... Well, no, they backed up. I was going to say if they get close enough to Ankyra, I could attack with both of us present, but instead now it looks like they may go marching for that other settlement. Again, that is my vassal. The unfortunate thing is that they'll probably eventually turn against me. I guess the good news is at least they're helping me take down Phrygia. And as much as I would have liked to have had that settlement to earn more wood, I need the bronze one that's further north even better. Legamus says bronze ingots. Yeah, we're definitely going for the ingots. Barbarians, Legamus, Francesco, Nidibus. Thanks for being channel members. Appreciate you all. And then thank you everybody else who's here. Nathan, Ismail, Yago. Thank you all for joining in live. Gato, thanks for joining in. And let's see here. So, Noble's Dead Warrior. So this is our judgment. So the High Commander rode across these lands not long ago to hire my soldiers for his campaigns. I think we've seen this one before, but where I once rejoiced, at least brave. So yeah, so basically he hires them, and we've got to decide what to do with the army here. We can compensate him. We preside as the overseer. We lose regard with the High Commander, but we get happiness in the province, diplomatic relations, and a huge chunk of food. We can defend the commander, which gains us regard, but it makes people unhappy. I mean, I don't know why. There's not really a big downside, in my opinion, at taking the 5,000 food here. And then that's going to help my food for a while longer. We probably do need axes. The swordsmen, I think, are kind of a better, like, defense-type unit. So axes would probably be good, but I want to say that some of the axes that I was looking to use were... they required bronze upkeep. Could be wrong. Hopefully we don't run into a huge army back here. Like multiple huge armies. They have a pretty good size army there.
Hello. Go away, please.
They've got 10 units in the garrison, and some of them are not bad.
I am busy right now.
This army's okay. It's certainly not anything special. We do have an extra chunk of bronze that we could take advantage of for a while if we needed one of these chariot units. This takes a gold upkeep, though, if I'm reading that right. So that would put a pretty good chunk into our gold income. But, I mean, that chariot would be pretty important for helping us to chop through enemies. This one also takes a gold upkeep, but gets us, like, a really high-tier axe unit. Massetti? That could be pretty cool. I mean, we can always disband it, I suppose, if we can't pay for it. They do tremendous damage, it looks like. If we go take a look at the damage here, yeah, it's 33 armor piercing damage, and like just for frame of reference, our swords only do 35 total damage, and 7 of it is armor piercing. And when we look at the attack, it's only 20. And these axes are at 44, so these guys would be some serious face choppers. It would cost us bronze, it's going to cost us more upkeep in bronze. But honestly, it might not be a bad idea to get a really good unit into this army, because we could run into something tough, and then, like I said, we can just disband them later.
With me, you may have a chance.
So, and we can still hold this for quite a few turns. It's gonna be tricky, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Diogo is asking me in the chat here to share my thoughts on Pharaoh. I did share my thoughts. I did it a lot in the last episode.
Attack the enemy.
To the point where some people, I think, were getting annoyed because of how much I shared my thoughts. But just give you my basic thoughts real quick in a few words. I'm underwhelmed at the moment, but I'm going to continue playing it and see whether my mind changes. Sometimes you got to learn how to play a game. Take some time to figure out what it really has to offer. And so we're going to wait, and we're going to see. We'll give it a chance. But yeah, so far, underwhelming. I played my Warhammer campaigns early this week, and my gosh, the battles are just so much better. There's so much depth in the Warhammer battles. Flyers, heavyweights, lightweights, magic, abilities, special abilities, like regiments of renown, lords, heroes. Like, I mean, the depth of battle in Warhammer is just like 10 times better than what this game has to offer. Now, that said, they did some good stuff with differentiating the units in Troy, and they have done a lot of that here. But I have to ask this question, you know, going forward, which is, if CA is going to choose to release games in a limited setting like this, should you? Should you release a game in a very limited setting, such as Pharaoh, knowing that it's going to cripple some of your ability to put depth into the battles, and battles are what makes Total War. So in my opinion, you have one of two options. Don't make games in these limited settings. So like, for instance, Bronze Age may have been a poor choice because you didn't have widespread use of heavy cavalry and stuff like that takes huge factors. Or you're going to have to really embellish the rosters. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to really load some stuff into these rosters and make it interesting. Oh my gosh, they have 3 heavy Anatolian chariots, and they've got their garrison here, and they have all these renowned Phrygian javelin throwers. These guys are absolutely stacked. I'm not sure that this looks very
Pull back for now.
good for us. Are they gonna follow me? If their one army thinks it can beat me, it may follow me out here. I'd have better chance. Yeah, okay. This is better. We've only got to fight against one army. I still don't know if it's winnable, but we have to fight it. We can't retreat again. But at least we got rid of the reinforcements. These are tier 4 units, and how the AI is paying the upkeep on these is absolutely ludicrous. There's no way they can afford the upkeep on tier 4 units right now. All of these require bronze, and the chariots require the bronze, maybe even gold. So this is some straight up AI shenaniganry here. There's no way they can afford these armies. So this is just like the AI out and out, like flat out cheating. And then you've seen how hard it has been for me to upkeep 2 trashy armies. So I'm not gonna lie, this is a little frustrating, like seeing this kind of stuff from the AI. It's in fact extremely frustrating. But anyway, there's a couple of my thoughts on the game. I'm not gonna go any further into it because we did the other night, but I think that sums it up. These guys are gonna absolutely crush us. Their axes are gonna chop through us. We need their chariots to come in first. Then we need to disable their chariots very quickly. I have so many axes. We're going to have to also kind of hope they blob up, and then hope we can get around their flanks. But, I mean, their numbers are just about equivalent to me, which is going to make this challenging.
Soldiers of Hate! Clubs! Might and glory!
Wonder... Are they gonna come at me? I mean, I could once again, like, kind of deploy with my flank secured right there. Then I could leave some spearmen kind of in positions. We can get the AI to blob,
Bound by duty!
then we have a chance. And I could, like, hold my elite axes and my general in reserve, send them where needed, and then we've got our bowmen. We want to take these guys off skirmish mode. I'm going to even take them off fire at will, but man, the range on the bowmen is so extremely limited as well.
Archers!
Archers need a longer range. That's another thing that needs to change about this game. This is not enough range. I think the slinger's range is what the archer range should be, and if they really want slingers to have longer range than archers, then make the slinger range longer, but the archer range is way too short on this game. Okay, are they gonna approach me, or do I have to approach them? And if they do approach me, how are they going to handle me having a flank secured out here? Right, they got 2 chariots approaching me down the right flank. I think I'm gonna run this unit over, and I'm gonna start moving my archers over to this flank. They are headed towards my light units. Got one chariot over here, but we have got to take the opportunity.
March on! Plant your feet!
Should have braced up sooner. Their chariots are coming in just full YOLO. This could be good or bad for... Oh my gosh, they absolutely crushed that tribesman unit because they have such low mass.
In Hati's name.
But I think I can start pumping some arrows into these guys. And then I've got my spears in there too.
Let loose your arrows!
I've got another spear unit moving in. If we can crush these chariots early, that could be a boon.
March, brothers!
They already routed one of my tribesmen.
Our enemies await us!
No hiding now! Might and glory!
I should have braced up a little sooner for these YOLO charges from their chariots.
Soldiers of Hati!
They're just basically screaming around all over my lines right now. But their chariots have taken significant damage.
With me, men!
And we've got them
To glory!
about as bogged down as we can get chariots at the moment. Now I'm being assaulted by their axemen.
Break them!
In Hati's name!
I'm gonna try and throw
Bound by duty!
a little weight over here. Sorry, I gotta slow it down for a second to make sure I get a full accounting of everything that's going on. I have a light sword unit over here that I might send out there to try and get after that flanker. I need to get a charge real quick. And then they've still got chariots hitting me over here. This chariot unit, we're gonna have to get after it. We're in pretty rough shape in some of these fights, like we're pretty outnumbered. I did manage to get around the flank over here. Their axes are absolutely chewing through my swords, though, in a huge hurry. I can't leave those javelin men to just assault my flank. I don't think there's any way we can win this. I think their axes are going to cut me down. And I've walked right into another batch of AI shenaniganry here, in the sense that they are going to hold all the advantages here because they don't have to pay upkeep, essentially. They don't have to deal with almost any of the same problems that we do, so I'm pretty sure that, like I said, this shenaniganry here is going to cost us the battle. Yeah, look at this. My swords are just getting absolutely, just crushed by these axe units. Look at that, 68 damage, 46 charge bonus. I've only got one unit that's anywhere near their tier. It's a tier 6 unit. But my tier 6 unit is basically like the same as their tier 4. So, I mean, we don't have a prayer. These guys are going to slice through us like we weren't even here. And then they have all the heavy javelins too. So this army is going to be lost. We could save scum and go back so that I don't have to spend this entire episode rebuilding. That might be what I have to do, but I mean, this is frustrating in the sense that, like, what is this? Like, they don't own any more territory than me, but they can afford an entire tier 4 army, and I can't afford, like, trash tier armies. So yeah, I'm not loving this balancing act here of you get trash, they get whatever they want, have fun, deal with it. You know, that's pretty insane.
Destroy them!
Archers!
Trying to mow down some of these renowned Phrygian javelin men, because of course everything they have is renowned. Here comes a whole bunch of chariots though, and I've got nothing to stop them with. The spear unit is absolutely required to hold down. They are going through the forest, but the forest is also going to obstruct a lot of my archer fire. Yeah, I mean, even my best unit over here, as good as it is, like, I mean, we're completely outnumbered. Look at this, they've already gotten around my flank. My general's gonna get chopped down in here. I've only got 56 kills for 30 losses, even on that elite tier unit. Yeah, now the chariot's up into my archer, so that game is over. Their javelin men are probably as good in melee as my swordsmen are.
duty.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this.
I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. What can I do? There's not a strategy that beats that here. I don't even know if there's any... Like, yeah, I mean, I can't... To put that in perspective, all those tier 4 axes, that's probably like 1,000 bronze upkeep or something. Like, it's insane. Or several hundred at least. Several hundred at least. So they have that whole army. I'm gonna roll back my save here. I know it's kind of annoying, but I don't feel like spending this whole episode redoing this, and I don't know. Maybe I need to restart the campaign and just change some of the sliders, because this is... Yikes. Cheese my way out. Yeah, I would have loved to have cheesed my way out of that, but what am I going to cheese my way out of that with? Like, when they have that much armor and the shields, I can't do anything about that. Like, there's literally nothing that I can do in the face of that. Nothing. And if I show you my recruitment, for instance, they were using tier 4 axe units, okay? These are tier 3 axe units. And each one of these, if I stack up a full stack of them, like they had there, they probably had 10 of them at least. That's like a couple of hundred bronze per turn in upkeep, except they were a tier up, so I would expect that to double. So they're probably talking like... And then you had the chariots on top of that. And if those chariots were similar to these are costing like 25 or 30 bronze upkeep, and they had 3 of them, so it's like another 75 bronze. These guys were rocking like a... I'm guessing anywhere from like 500 to 700 bronze upkeep army. I mean, that is huge. Like, absolutely huge. Now, they do have that bronze settlement. I don't know how much bronze one of those settlement kicks out. Can I change the sliders during the campaign? Good question. I don't know. Maybe. During campaign, AI unit replenishment, default. Default unit replenishment is set to the standard value as the default option. Okay, low means that we lower it. Medium makes it go way up. I don't know what default is, though. Like, I'm assuming default is just like no buff or debuff. AI starting budget is on default. I can't change that. And then the AI behavior is on default too. Just happiness per turn for the AI default. Yeah, campaign, designate unbreakable units, battle difficulties on veteran. Well, that's probably part of it here, but I'm assuming there's no tool tips on it. I guess we could put it on normal if we're going to have to fight armies like that. Because veteran, they're probably going to get some buffs. It won't tell me. Missile units, ammunition, defaults. Yeah, we can't change most of these at this point. But, like, this one right here... Where was it? AI recruitment capacity default. It says default based by difficulty and other faction specific parameters. So I don't really know what default means on some of these. Like, is it defaulting to an already cheaty AI? Is default like no change or not? Like, it'd be a little nicer to have that explained. Like, I understand what they're saying here in terms of it's set to a base value, but what is that base value? Is the base value cheating based off the difficulty? Is the base value low? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know what to do with these. So I will apply the one little change I made there. It's not going to change much. It's just going to take away like little increases that the AI gets in battle. But we know that they have an elite, like, armor melting army up there. Just going to make things interesting. The only way I'm going to be able to beat that is if I threw both of my armies at it, which is what we're going to have to do. So we're gonna have to put both our armies in towards it. I wish some of these technologies were more useful in the sense of like reducing upkeep cost, you know, buffing up my production a lot better. Stuff like workforce growth from alliances. I mean, this one could be cool if I actually had a bronze settlement somewhere, which we don't. So, but see, like this one, hey, 15% upkeep reduction. That sounds really cool until you realize that it's limited to only tier 4 units. Again, that sucks. So if you're going to offer that for tier 4 units, that one says it's for tier 3 units. But what about like tier 2? I need some help with those. Like I can't afford anything. See what I mean? So I think some of this technology here could be improved if they, like, oh look, extra bronze when you're allied with other Hittite factions. What? Why? How about just 15% bronze extra? Like, that's not that hard. See, they really need to revisit this tree. This tree is annoying. It's convoluted. And there's a lot of shenaniganry in there that just doesn't need to be there, in my opinion. So, like, it could be simpler, it could be easier to understand, and less annoying to the player. And CA can't afford to have stuff be annoying for the players right now. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm playing. I turned the battle difficulty down. Whether or not it's going to make a difference, I don't think it will against that tier 4 army. That tier 4 army is going to smoke us regardless. The only way we'd be beating that army is if we had some serious chariots, but they have chariots as well. So what the AI is going to do is it's going to YOLO those chariots into us every time. And then we can beat them, but by the time we've finished beating the YOLO chariots, then comes a full line of axes, which is just going to chop our faces off. Like that is not going to be doable.
The great king.
This marks only the beginning of my benevolent.
Let's change that deity because we did that earlier. This deity sucks. I'm not even sure why they have this one as an option. Let's go over here, and I think we picked this dude here. We're gonna need all the extra melee attack we can get. Worship here. That's gonna start converting some of my shrines. The legitimacy shrine. I think we can only put one of those in each province, if I remember right. Yeah, it was only one per province. And already constructed that building. And this extra garrison right there. And then the religious district. That economic district, let's remind ourselves what it's going to do. So it's going to produce 10% extra resources. Armies gains reduced upkeep when they interact with it. Yeah, that's probably a good one to build as well. Let's put a couple of those in. We'll try and use those outposts. So what do we do here, folks?
Noble king.
How do we beat this tier 4 limitless bronze army? I could try to consolidate down to one army and recruit higher tier stuff. Certainly a possibility, but it's not going to change the bronze situation at all. If we got that big trade in bronze again, I could afford upkeep on some high bronze usage units for a while, but not for very long.
Compassion is strength.
Clearly the swordsmen aren't going to do
At
it.
least we are in this together.
There aren't any axemen available to us that aren't these bronze-eating ones, and we don't have the bronze to keep that up. So I think my only other choice here
Righteous king of
is to keep my two armies together.
to prosperity.
Both armies together, we probably do stand a significant chance of being able to fight that one off just by sheer numbers. Wouldn't be easy. So maybe that is the ticket here. We're just gonna have to combine our numbers, and I'm not gonna be able to make a separate run at the bronze producing settlement. Now what I could do is run both of these armies immediately at the bronze producing settlement and bypass Ankara. I mean, if my ally ends up taking it, it's just a food-producing province. We have a lot of those, and they have all of this other stuff up here. I see more stone. And then the bronze here. Yeah, I mean, we could just head for the northern province. Let my ally, like, if they come up here, he is headed up there again, so we could let my ally take care of that region. We could just focus both armies
Great King of Hatti.
against theirs. Let's try that. Let's try that as our strategy. I don't really know what other way to go, so that is going to be our attempt, and we'll see how we do.
Have given me courage to pursue our courtly sport.
Settlement upgrades. I'm going to upgrade this settlement here. And it's Ziplandia. Let's upgrade that one as well. Okay. Now it's end our turn. Legamus says cut off the bronze. Yeah, I think we need to do that. I think we need to march both armies to the north, take care of that bronze producing settlement, double team that army, take it out. I'm guessing that'll kind of be like us cutting the head off Phrygia if we do that. Surely they can't have more than one of those. Like, I want to say that. But it is the AI, so we don't know. Start a threat and plot against the High Commander. We can accept, and we get 50 gold. Yeah, sure, why not? So we have a different option of ambitions this time. We can hold 12 total settlements over the next 20 turns, and we get a wood and stone, like a kind of a moderate prize. We can conquer a region focused on wood, which is not immediately in our path. Or we can hold the entirety of the Ziplandia province, which is not likely over the next 10 turns. This is the most likely one for us to complete. It's kind of a moderate reward, but I would say it feels like the most likely one for us to complete. I do like the ambition thing. That's a cool ad for the historical games. It's nothing like super special, but it at least feels like it allows the player to kind of have like a little bit of a mini missions to earn something, adds a little bit of flavor, and honestly that could be kind of a cool thing, even in like a fantasy Total War.
Forward, men.
So that could be cool. They haven't offered me that trade. I can't get into an camp stance. Cannot be changed for the rest of this turn. Why not? Oh, they're in a march. Crap. My bad.
Keep your eyes open.
So I went too far to hit the encamp stance. I could, let's roll into an ambush chance just for this turn. Let's see, we got some stone and wood back. Let's take a look here. Outpost construction at Hattusa. What do we got here so far? So this sanctuary is adding legitimacy. That's nice. The Hittite fort, of course, is adding a little bit of a garrison. This one's going to add even more garrison. So Hattusha will get a pretty significant garrison boost there. We could add another economic building, and I mean, that's not a bad thing. I'm building one somewhere else, but getting extra boost can't hurt anything, right? We could build another religious one here to gain further favor, which that could be good too, because we saw that gaining further favor with that deity is going to give us pretty substantial shots at melee buffs. Let's remind ourselves of that. So let's head over to our local deity. Some temples manage your construction shrines of prayer. So where do you do the prayers at, by the way? General, you devote to this god will receive these bonuses. Reach tier 2 to improve this category's effect. Where do we do the prayers at? Is it like at one of the shrines? Do you have to have enough influence with the deity? Where is one of these things? Doesn't this one need to be... Probably needs to be repaired. It's got to be at the outpost where you do the prayers, right? Phrygian Way Station? I guess. The outpost. So we're repairing that. Hittite Rock Sanctuary, Hittite Fort. Building the shrine here. We build another one? Oh, we can only have one in the front. Okay, so we need to build it, and then I'm guessing we do it at the outpost. And people were saying that in the chat, too, that that's where we do it. Okay, good to know. Thank you.
King Suppiluliuma,
King Suppiluliuma.
righteous king of Hatti,
Okay, we were waiting to end our turn still, so let's
a place to
head
rest.
back to that encamp stance. We can build up this one so that eventually we can train more chariots, which we'll need, especially if I can get a good sourcing of bronze going. We could probably build more chariots. We have to interact with the shrines. Ah, excellent. Thank you. So we do use the shrine. We build the shrine, and then we have our army interact with it, apparently, which then adds those buffs. I'm assuming for, like, a certain period of time they're going to be added to it. All right, our ally is doing good here. That's helpful. And we'll continue our march north. See, all of this is why, like, I said earlier that I'm underwhelmed with the game, but sometimes, again, we got to stick it out. We may just be playing the game wrong. We may not be understanding something right, like a mechanic or something, so if I get frustrated, I just need to stick it out. That's why I want to play all the way through a campaign. And then I'll be able to speak to it better. So, see what happens. Thank you to everybody who's joined the stream. The Milk Penguin, King Superbus, Krusty Burrito, Aries, Howitzer. Thank you. It is Shimsuhor. We get our judgment. Happiness and food. We definitely want that happiness and food. Recruitment costs. Yeah, let's do this one. Get that chunk of food to keep me going for a while longer because we are still bleeding food.
Great king of Hatti, be prepared.
I was trying to replenish my chariots here along the road, and we were, and I think I'm going to do so
Bring
again.
order here.
Plus, this will give me a chance to kind of scout a little bit ahead. It's going to give the AI more chances to recruit, for sure. But I also don't think that I'm going to want to show up to this battle with my chariots in less than good fighting condition, because we're going to need every single advantage
Always stay prepared.
that we can get.
Fate
I'm
beckons.
going to try and replenish this army a little bit, too. So I got both my armies moving together.
Get the fires going.
We'll be fully replenished. We'll take the fight to the enemy. Hopefully our ally can we ask him? Yeah, we can set a coordination target. I can ask him to go towards Inkyra. Let's take a look at our court actions. Build some intrigue here with this guy.
It is the time to take stock and take note.
And alright, we have another upgrade available to us. This one's closer to the front lines. I think I'm going to improve it first. And post damage. I think we should demolish that one. Tight trading post, way station. I didn't even know we had this down here, to be honest. Recruitment slots, influence, reduction of all resources, cost. I think we've got the wrong buildings here, to be honest. But I don't think there's any other food buildings we can get. But let's take a look at these outposts again. What's it going to cost me to repair these? Some wood and stone, that's not bad. Some stone there. Okay, let's go ahead and repair those. It says we still have outpost construction available, but I'm going to wait just a little bit here. This won't give me much more wood, but it'll be a little bit more wood, so... Alright, there we go. Tuan says, one army to raid the bronze income? Maybe we could raid the bronze income on here. I don't know how much it would give us. I definitely want to take over the settlement and just get all of that production. Alright, our ally is at least raiding and causing trouble. I wish he would just go for the major settlement, but hey, causing the enemy trouble over here is fine with me at the moment. At least it's something, and to have an ally at least pretending to help me is, I think, better than where we're usually at. Francesco said in the comments here, by the way, Air, the Sea People invasion is coming from your vassal's territory. Great! When did the sea people come through here? I haven't even seen the sea. Great. That's what we need. We need a sea people invasion right now. Oh boy. Alright, we'll see here. Ares says that some of his favorite campaigns are when I take some severe losses and try and recover. Never give up, never surrender. Yeah, it can be fun, and it can be satisfying if you dig your way out of it. It certainly can.
For the Hittite kingdom.
Endless aggression.
Alright, let's see if their...
King of Hatti.
Yeah, their army of Imperial Stormtroopers is up here. I'm gonna do a little bait and switch kind of thing here, see if this works. I'm gonna put Suppiluliuma in an ambush stance here. And I'm gonna leave my other army out as bait for their insane tier 4 bronze, you know, like unlimited bronze army there. We'll see what happens. Great, if the sea people are coming, we're screwed. Is this sea people?
Or ever.
Ish. Yeah, it says enemy. That does look like them. I'm assuming this is sea people here.
I make my own adventures.
It doesn't let me even talk to him. Which means that my defensive actually would have been better off here. Raid with the other to draw him in. Oh, good point. We'll do that. I'm gonna actually use this construction. I need to get that done early, and then I need this administration building up here. We just need idle workforce. And maybe I can do that on the next turn, and then we can increase our garrison here rather substantially. Okay. Set this army to a raiding stance, which... Oh, wow, it does pick us up a lot of bronze on that raiding stance. That is not an insubstantial amount of bronze, so we'd be sucking up a whole bunch of their production, which is good because we were bleeding bronze and running rather low. Let's take a look at our court actions here. Let's take a ruling. A big chunk of food. This would reduce bronze recruitment, but I can't really do it over the next 6 turns. And I don't have the bronze to do it with, period, so we're best off to just take the extra chunk of food. We have a Washesh wave invading that's coming. I really wish I had another army down there. I could maybe tell my allies to go after that. I don't know that they would.
I will unite this land.
We can hope. Hattusa has a pretty solid garrison. I think we can hold stuff off there. I don't want to get all my small settlements burned down, though. Arena is a ways away. It has a pretty good garrison. I'm going to see if we can improve this garrison by using some of my gold before the raiders get there. It's going to be close. We'll see. We shall see. Francesca said, at least I saw them before defeat. Well, I appreciate you helping us spot them. My ally, though, is just wandering further into enemy territory. It doesn't appear to give a rip about my plea to intercept the sea people. Let's see here. Hopefully the AI will take the bait. You guys take too long. Hurry up. Alright, they did take the bait. Our ambush failed, but we got them out on open ground, and we've got this army singled out. So I think that we can at least use that to our advantage, so let's fight the battle. It's too bad the ambush failed, because then we could have really trapped these guys in and crushed them. But our reinforcements in that ambush probably would have come from way over on the side of the map anyway, so this might be better in the sense that we'll get all of our stuff. Ally took the settlement. Good. I'm glad our ally took the settlement. We needed it. Anything we can get against the Phrygians right now is not going to hurt. This This is like the first time I haven't had to deploy in absolutely gosh-awful weather. Cannot use engaged in melee, so we can engage this to try and help a sword line hold out longer, and then maybe reinforce it with other units. I don't know if it works great. We do have to deal with 3 different chariot units, so our bows are going to be very important. I think we have more bows coming in. We've got an additional spear unit here, so we do have multiple spear units to reinforce the front line when it gets hit by chariots. I'm going to hold our own chariots in reserve. The AI wants to YOLO. I'm going to hold ours in reserve. These units honestly might be good bait on the flank to bait some chariots in.
Soldiers of Hachi!
What do you all think about the range on the archers? I think it should be increased. Curious what you all think.
Follow your king! Hati! Keep distance!
Might put this strong unit over here on the flank.
Bows of Hati!
I'm gonna slow it down for just a second so I can kind of group my units intelligently here. So archers. Actually, we could get 2 groups of archers. One can kind of help cover this side of the battlefield, and then the other can kind of help cover this side of the battlefield. And we do want them maybe to be on fire at will, but we don't want them... Did I move? I thought I moved. Alright, so they're moving over there. These archers... Toggle off skirmish mode, move over here. I think we got additional spear units as well, so I'm going to put spear units kind of all behind the front line so that I'll be able to pile in on those chariots. Then I'll have a whole second line of swordsmen. Add a little bit of weight. Go ahead and hit play. I think the only units that I haven't assigned a position to are these light swordsmen. Something like
In
that.
Hati's name!
Okay, everybody's got movement orders. Let's get them in position and then we'll move our large force forward.
Cannot keep
I think the AI is going to camp in the back because we were the attackers. Hittite and Canaanite overall have bad archer units. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I know the Hittites roll really heavy on armor, which is cool. It's a neat feature, but I think that that's kind of the price they pay as a faction. Why does this pop up every single time? Go away. Should only be there when I push the button. Alright, let's fast forward. Get all our units in position. It's going to take a minute for some of these units to get there. So I've got missiles on both flank. They can be redeployed to the center. I've got spears kind of, you know, mishmashed all behind the main lines. I'm actually going to put those spearmen right up here, right behind that front line. We can brace our front line. There we go. So now we've got spearmen who can be ready to respond to chariot YOLOs and stuff like that. Okay, I think this formation will do. Got everybody selected. There's some terrain up here kind of blocking. Let's just start moving forward. That terrain's actually kind of annoying. Okay, they are way back in the back. And they are just reforming way back in the back. Right, so the AI has chosen to just deploy as far back as they can. They're really bunched up, almost like they're expecting reinforcements. I don't know what the AI is doing back here. Maybe it's because they couldn't see my troops. I don't know. Kind of keep an eye out on them, make sure they don't come rolling towards me all of a sudden with those chariots. They very well might. They're on the move. But they also kind of appear to be going... They have even more chariots this time. Holy cow! They've got 5 heavy Anatolian chariots. What in the world? There's no way they can afford the upkeep on these. No way. 5 heavy chariots. Goodness sakes. These guys are like a Ben-Hur movie or something.
They left their bows at home.
Looks like they're concentrating kind of all across. Like there's not a single concentration of chariots anywhere. It's taking my army an absolute year to get in position. Troops all marching at different speeds because they're different weight classes and going around terrain, and some of them have bigger terrain penalties and stuff when they're moving through the forest, so we get lots of different speeds. What is this, like, going on there? Okay, so I think we're in position. The AI has spread really wide. There's more terrain over here that's going to be a blocker. I wonder what the AI does if I move and put that terrain on my flank like this. At some point, I kind of expect him to come YOLOing with the chariots. Once we get into a certain range, that will at least help me contain the chariots a bit. Put like 1 spear unit out here to kind of break down those chariots. And we could keep our archers facing that flank. Might need another extra unit out here just in case, kind of help plug the gaps and stuff. Alright, so the AI did react. They pulled further back. They've got terrain kind of blocking their ability to maneuver too. They want me to engage. I don't have the mobility to really push them. I could keep backing them up here. Eventually they'll run out of places to go.
Whatever is needed.
They're basically just turning every time I turn and push closer to them. They're trying to pick a defensive position. The white line, though, is still a long ways back, but I don't know, maybe we'll get them in some kind of idiotic maneuvering mess here. They're in kind of a weird blocky formation at this point. Wish archers had any kind of range. You know, that would help us significantly here. Actually going to use that swordsman to break any chariot charges, and they do look like they're coming for a YOLO. Leroy Jenkins. Alright, the AI is kind of going Leroy Jenkins on me over here. Alright, I need these guys to stick in a defensive stance. I don't want them to chase. I want these swords to kind of break the charge and eat it, and then I'll follow up. And then we're gonna need reinforcements here. And what's coming at us over here? They've got a single axe unit bearing down on my club units. And then I imagine they are lacking some units here in the middle. I'm gonna start kind of pushing those over, and then I've got more that I can stick in. All right. Work to surround. I need my archers to move up over here as well. Alright, yeah, I've got to slow down because I have a lot to take care of. Oh, stinking chariots are coming all at me here. They've got so many chariot units. And I am very limited in my response to them. I did not get my units braced prior to combat. They're cycle charging at me out here, which is smart. Stay after those chariots. And my two-handed club units over here are gonna get savaged up pretty good. I'm gonna need reinforcements over here. I've got my own chariots. If we see an opportune, like their general here, we might be able to get kind kind of blobbed up a little right there, but we can work our way around some of these others. We did catch their unit there. I don't know what their chariots are up to out here. Oh my gosh, there's like 1 trillion units to control here, and it's not going to be easily done. Okay, their chariots are kind of fleeing back from me, that's fine. I gotta make sure and stay within a defensible position. My two-handed clubs, unsurprisingly, are kind of getting spanked here. Don't like the idea of chasing these chariots, but I can't just sit here. I gotta do something. Bring these reinforcements over. Alright, the chariots came back for seconds. Is this other one gonna try and... yeah, it's coming this direction. I gotta get ready to head it off. Dementia, thanks for the 10. He says, for a saga game, this game is both very pretty and lacking in Japanese clans. That's right. It's lacking the whole Fall of the Samurai motif. Man, Fall of the Samurai was definitely my favorite saga title. Like, without question. We are absolutely owning this fight over here, and their axes are completely surrounded. In fact, I think I'm going to start following these archers back over here, and then this unit back that direction as well. Alright, Suppiluliuma is in combat. A little bit scared about that, to be honest. And I have this axe unit we can try and work in behind our enemies. We are dealing with chariots, slowly but surely. I'm going to try and control this in real speed, but... sure is a heck of a lot of crap to control. Those chariots are running from me, but they're taking massive damage as a result.
Soldiers of Hati! Places men!
Break them!
Now I'm kind of chasing chariots over here, which is very less than ideal.
March, brothers!
I need these spears to head through this gap.
Run for your lives!
Bowman ready!
Oh, my spears just kept chasing the chariots, but they're doing well, because they have the high charge. They did not get absolutely trounced.
Wisdom.
Threaten that unit there, drop their morale. Okay, this is working. Dementia, thank you so much for the 10. Appreciate you supporting the channel. You have been supporting me for years. Absolutely awesome. And thank you to everybody else who is watching and enjoying. I think the numbers game is doing it here, folks. We have got... well, not to mention we changed the battle difficulty too, where they're probably getting less buffs, because it was on veteran, which means that they were probably getting, like, defense and leadership buffs, which makes sense, because we had seen some of their units, like, fighting to the death in previous battles, and they were just, like, mob units. So, this chariot unit out here is still in extreme danger to me at the moment.
Move! Axes!
Get my spears loose out of this fight, see if we can get after those chariots.
Let loose your arrows! Die, fools!
Trying to break these spears loose.
March on! Make them
AI is trying to stay real mobile with its chariots, which is definitely the right move. I got a spear unit that chased chariots down out there. Let's pull it back in. Some regrouped units here. Alright, so we've crushed through our enemies over here. It should be a wrap-up at this point. We don't really want this army to be able to get back into its garrison, though, and recover its units quickly, so we'll have to push from this victory. And it is a victory. Thanks again, Dementia. Appreciate you. Alright, so let's end the battle. Well, we needed a victory. And some might say, well, it's just because you lowered the difficulty. Well, maybe so. But we did have 2 armies this time. And honestly, I didn't realize that I had it on a difficulty that was going to give the AI a bunch of buffs. I don't really want to do that on my first campaign run, because I need to understand the game first, right? Before I put it where the AI is going to get all kinds of buffs, I need to understand how my army is going to work and what we should be doing. Honestly, I'm going to take the loot off this. The replenishment is very meager. So I'm going to loot these guys.
I am blessed.
That extra chunk of bronze and food is valuable to me. That is a big victory for us there. We needed that bad. And we need this bronze production. We need it desperately. They got away with pretty much their whole army, and see how quickly they're going to be replenishing?
I will not let
We can't
my
allow
kingdom
that.
be torn asunder. Start the assault. Strike hard.
And encircle them.
Hunger will start to set in.
And then I'm going to bring up reinforcements.
Keep moving.
And I should... Yeah, we're going to stay in that raiding stance, so I'm going to still get to capture a whole bunch of stuff from
Attack
them.
the enemy.
With these guys encircled now, I don't know how many turns until they start to drop units. I think we have to...
Make it count.
4 turns until they run out of supplies. Dadgum, it takes absolutely forever. Goodness sakes. I could auto-resolve. We'll take a lot of damage, we'll lose a chariot unit. We could get that chariot unit back. I don't want to wait. This takes too long. Like, I'm just not going to sit here for 4 turns and wait and wait and then wait a few more turns, because they're probably just going to come along with another one of these armies.
Never give in.
Yeah, man, Fall of the Samurai was an absolutely excellent saga title. They renamed it that after the fact, so it obviously wasn't created that way. Isn't that convenient? The only unit they killed was my chariots, the most expensive one. It's okay though. I probably don't need to keep that chariot on retainer for too terribly long. We're gonna occupy this, and
Hittite Empire
good heavens, we
expands.
need the bronze production, and we need it bad. They were only getting 130 bronze income, and they had that whole army. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Maybe they had this building too, but still, that's only just the 310 bronze, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong; it's a heck of a lot more than we had. I mean, this is good. I mean, being able to get 300 and something bronze per turn is going to be a huge step up from where we were at. We can build the settlement up. So, this is good news for us. My live chat is talking about Fall of the Samurai because we've been mentioning it here, and they were saying it still holds up. Well, it does. It's a beautiful game, and it is still fun to play. Now, I can re-recruit these Hittite chariots. You know, it's up to us here, kind of, I think, how we want to handle these units.
Great King of Hatti.
Vassal units. Armored Hittite skirmishers. Do they have an axe when they go into melee? How do we pin this unit? Or we can just right-click it and we'll open it up. They do. Wow. So they have good armor piercing. They have 9 javelins they can chuck with 75 range. Doesn't call out their missile damage, does it? It's melee damage. Yeah, oh, it's further down. There it is. Dang, man, those are really good javelins too. Holy cow. And they have 110 armor? I mean, their attack and defense is fairly lacking, but I mean, good heavens, you get to discharge those javelins and head in. That could be a big deal. Those units could be like a nice replacement for these chargers, who honestly aren't armor themselves. They're cheaper to upkeep, though.
Veteran of Hatti.
I about half wonder whether it'd be safe for me to retreat this army back to help against the Sea People invasion. I probably should at this point. I'm gonna switch to the march stance and try and get this army
We must be ruthless.
back over here
Going forth.
as we crunch through that one. So I need to get this army back to help against the Sea People potentially. Oh my goodness, this bronze income is just gonna be so clutch. Like I'm so happy about getting the extra bronze.
Righteous King of Hatti.
We've got to do something about this army. This army's gonna need a little more oomph, and we're only at minus 19 bronze. If we can get that settlement up to tier 3, we could potentially drag more bronze out of it. And then if we think about, you know, how do we add to it with the outpost? Siege holdout time and garrison. Army gains reduced upkeep. We get extra production, so that's good. That'll up our bronze production a little more. This thing with legitimacy is cool, but I'm not sure I want it here. I might build a different outpost here that allows that garrison to come interact with Andrapa here. And then that way we can get that additional garrison to help protect our precious bronze settlement at this point. Whew, alright. Get a barter expire.
Unexpected turn of events.
We were trading some food for wood. We could keep doing that if he wants it.
Yes, good.
It's not gonna hurt anything. Okay. Let's hop out of here. Let's look through some of our options here. We got a court action available to us.
Hati commands us all, peers.
I don't have any
Even
more
me,
characters, so I
the
can't
great
claim
king.
some of these, but apparently some of these guys are dying in battle or something.
Good to see you not looking down your
And
nose
settlement
at someone
upgrade.
like me.
Right, we got this one, and I can fast build this building maybe? Takes 500 gold, but we are making a lot of gold right now. And I mean, 11 in the garrison here may mean the difference between surviving the Sea People invasion or not, because that's about the size of their army here.
Freedom is everything.
So I don't feel too bad like fast spending that. However, that is gonna mean that we're not ready to upgrade anything else at the moment. And now I got to get back to this army and think what I want to do here.
Ever-righteous.
I think some anti-large is a good idea. These spearmen, how do they compare? Man, these guys hit way harder against large. I almost feel like if I were to drop some units here, I mean, these guys really are good on the flanks to go in and start dishing some damage. They're just really weak. And so I do think maybe replacing them with those javelin men would be better. And then we've still got one other open slot here, so like I could disband these units. We can head into the
King of
recruitment.
Hati.
Come over here to our vassal unit. Oh, I think we can only get so many of these, though. There's only one available. Crap. Think about that. These guys are going to be good against chariots as well. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I didn't think far enough ahead here, folks. Could pick up one of these superb axemen. We lost our chariot. It would be good to have our chariot back. Man, those things are expensive. Let's just do that for now. Let's see if that vassal
Come,
unit
brethren. It is
becomes
time.
available again, or if you only just get one period. Because
I
this is a
serve
cool
Hati.
unit right here. That armored Hittite skirmisher.
Born to spill blood.
Okay. Ooh, alrighty. It's construction. Ganesh. What do we got here? We got the Hittite way station. A trading post, which is going to improve our... Put an extra religious one in down there. Convert that building. Okay, there we go. We're going to convert that one. Let's go ahead and end our turn here. Warner, thanks for joining us tonight. It is great to have you here. Ryan, appreciate you joining us tonight. Boy, I could use some Armstrong guns right here. The folks are still talking about the Total War saga, like the Fall of the Samurai. Man, some Armstrong guns would have been great in that last battle. Absolutely perfect. And maybe some Gatling guns for good measure as well. So let's go ahead and accept this. I'll take some non-aggression packs for the cost of just some stone. I'm down with that. Let's see. I've got a suggestion here from Tuan saying you need to fix the influence. 0 influence, reduce bronze production. 75% influence. Okay, let me go check it out. Go check it out here. So, influence is very low. Influence distribution. So yeah, basically ours is the Hittite, And they've got it on Western Hittite here. I don't know where we see the effects of that. Ah, right down here. So yeah, we've only got 65 bronze being produced out of 130, so it is reducing. Influence 13.3%. It'd be cool if it told me somewhere that that was impacting that way. It may. Stone deposits are dwindling. Whole deposit thing is interesting. Let's see, so this building is providing happiness. I guess maybe I deleted that building that was doing influence because I thought I would want something else. Maybe we do want the influence. There. That building may have already been here, I don't even remember. Alright, let's take the extra influence. And if I look at outpost, siege holdout time. See, this one does allow us to reinforce from there, but there's probably... I see this adds influence. Yeah, right there. Thank you. That's where we see the impact. Yeah, that's not good. We've got to get our influence up. Well, I'll at least leave those outpost buildings there temporarily, if nothing
Great
else.
King of Hatti.
Yeah, unfortunately that vassal unit does not replenish, so... This army, we're kind of shy of any decent units at the moment, which means that our tribesmen are going to make a comeback.
Stand by me.
Because I just need my army full at
King
the moment.
of Hatti.
Alright.
The 1,000 gods bear witness. We are called to noble work.
Really know what to do in the court for the most part right now. Royal decrees.
Only when I gutted them.
We got the extra bronze production, which again will be nice for us now that we actually have. Are we allied with Hittite factions? I don't know if we are. I'll move over there again. I'm going to try and do whatever I can to boost bronze. The bronze production is key to us. If we get the higher bronze production, we can actually start recruiting some decent units. At least in terms of bronze. We still got to fight with the food upkeep, but we can get to that point. It's some time here in the near future, hopefully. Alright.
With me.
So see, like, our influence is good here, so we're getting extra production of all resources. And then our influence here is growing. So again, that's going to slowly impact our ability here. We have a lot of idle workforce around this area, though, so we should probably put them to work. Got plenty of projects, actually. We could make this big upgrade here. That helps build our influence as well. It takes gold to do so, but we have plenty of gold. That shouldn't be an issue.
Hatti commands us all, peers. Even me, the great king.
Excellent. I want to make that upgrade as well. Awesome. Let's end our turn. Thanks for the tips coming through in chat. It is appreciated. These guys want some gold, and they're willing to give us a non-aggression pact for it. I'm fine with that. I'm sitting pretty comfortably on gold at the moment. Alrighty, thanks for the tip on the bronze, for sure, Tuan. That is super helpful. I hadn't noticed that, and that will help me address that more quickly, knowing what I have to go over. We are losing some legitimacy right now. It says battle 1, -1, probably because we're not fighting at the moment.
Endless aggression.
Alright. These sea people are in our
Keep your eyes
borders.
open.
When they are here, does that prevent me from replenishing? Because I noticed, or was it just where we were standing? And it's not replenishing because replenishment value is too low. So some of our units are not replenishing.
Death is
I wonder
nothing
if I
to
can
fear.
get into the settlement. What is this? Adjudicate grievances? Might have to try that
I'll
later.
retire to my quarters.
Okay, there we go. Now we can actually replenish. I do need another army, but we can ill afford another army.
Noble of heart.
Unfortunately.
Servant of the people.
Alright, our influence is gaining here, and on the next turn, I think we're gonna get a little bit of improvement to our bronze output here. Which is sorely
Be
needed.
seated, peers of the court. We have much work to do.
Let's embezzle.
We have a
Love
saying
me
in
some good
hunting,
embezzling.
But you know it, of course.
Not in real life, of
Yes,
course.
I'll have-
Air is all legal in real life. Let's improve that, and let's end ourselves another turn here. Well, at least we're getting some of our settlements built up. That would allow us to build higher tier buildings as we need to, and to help us unlock better units, tech, buffs, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we can put down the sea people rating here. They are moving a little closer to my territory, or further into my territory, I should say. I'd like to put an end to them. Might have an opportunity to here. Lose a court action, but gain some gold. Sure, whatever, I'll take some gold.
Clear.
Alright, I don't know what we're up against with the sea
My
people army.
talismans protect me from evil.
Can we beat them? Maybe.
We must be ruthless.
Maybe.
With me, you may have a chance.
I could grab one of these units just for this fight and then disband it. I think I will, just to make sure we can put these guys down.
The last batch didn't, well, last.
The last batch didn't last.
Always stay prepared.
Nice joke there, Dad. Thought that was my job. Look at the sea people, they're like, yeah, no. Don't want none of that. They went all the way back there across that river crossing.
Forward, men.
How much stance do I have to go into ambush? 25% required. Okay, let's move up here a little
Marching
bit.
onward.
Move into an ambush
Get into
stance.
hiding.
So that chariot's going to cost me a little bit extra, but it'll make sure that we can handle that sea people incursion there. Rich deposits. Stone deposits are bountiful. Okay.
Warrior
Warner, hope you get a good sleep. Thanks for dropping by. We appreciate you.
King Suppiluliuma.
Hey, King Suppiluliuma. Let's go see what we're up against. Hopefully not another
Pressing forward.
infinite bronze army, especially since we took away all their bronze production. I do not see a garrison here at
Charge
all,
at them.
which means that
Ready the
feasibly
ladders.
we should be able to get in here. Siege ladders would let us get up to the walls a little quicker. This other stuff takes longer. So let's just make as many siege ladders as we can for a turn, and
Keep
then we'll
them
climb
closed
those.
in.
Alright. Let's take a look at some of our other reminders here. Oh good, we can make the upgrade here, which means that we can build that other bronze production. I'll probably tear down the happiness building, leave the influence building, and then we'll build the other bronze production whenever that becomes available over the next couple of turns. Okay. Outpost available at Ziplandia. We could use an economic outpost here to help boost production. I think we can only have those. Okay, we already have one there. Okay, good. And I'm thinking we may just put another one here if we just boost a lot of production. Does it hurt to boost a ton of production? We don't have funds to do that one. Let's go ahead and end there. And then Bran is reminding me down in the chat, you can trade for some of the things you need. That is correct. We could go and barter for some of the things we need. We have a lot of stone right now. We could probably barter for some more food with it. Or, you know, some bronze, stuff like that. Oh, we ambushed them. Excellent. Hello, sea people. What fine loot did you bring me? We're definitely going to kill these guys and take their watches. So, there we go. And I'm assuming these guys, it said like waves. I'm assuming this is going to be an off and on thing throughout the campaign, and maybe sometimes more serious depending on the events. Again, I've got to learn all this about the campaign, which is why I want to play one all the way through. I need that familiarity with it, and need to play it all the way through to figure it out. Oh, it's raining. How pleasant. I'm going to leave my chariot deployed to the rear of this to get into all their skirmishers. Yeah, that'll work right there. I love how the archers have such bad range that I can barely even take a shot at the enemies here.
We fight for our team.
Skirmish off. Okay. We're ready. Let's cut these guys off.
March, brothers! Sword! I fear nothing. The storm is a bad omen. Death take you! Destroy them! Die, fools! Move! Never surrender! War is not for weaklings!
Okay, they just came charging at me over here. They actually got into my archers, but my chariots are now shredding through their missiles. Alright, this army should fall apart pretty quickly here. We've got a full surround ready for them.
They die today!
Oh, I forgot to deploy a unit back here, my bad. We got too many units hanging out over here. Let's send one this way. These guys are already crunched between two units and they're not gonna live.
Chariots! Swords!
Yeah, we've already got a full encirclement here, but this should speed their passing.
Bullseye! Throw javelin! Triumph awaits! Thank you! Wheeling into position!
I keep these chariots moving. I don't want to sit still. Those guys have armor-piercing damage.
Chariots! Maneuver! Die, fools!
Actually, that's a spear unit. We don't want to do that.
Places! Chariots!
I'm going to peel off one of my infantry units to intercept that Fame Seeker unit there. Alright, there we routed that unit.
Chariots moving! Clubs!
They have a little bit too much armor-piercing damage for my liking, so like I'm worried if my chariot sits still near them for too long, so I'll end up paying with it.
Chariots! Make them tremble!
Alright, so the sea people are getting turned into fertilizer. You know how you're supposed to like maybe put fish underneath your crops whenever you're planting crops? I guess that's what we're going to be doing with the sea people here. They were kind enough to come in, and now we'll be getting a lot of fertilizer for our crops. So, awesome. We got him. We got him. So I would say that that's going to be a pretty sound defeat there. I have to admit, though, the sea people got style. I like the color scheme. Like the armor and stuff, like the aesthetic there, the sea people is pretty sick. Like it's pretty cool. I'm down with that.
All look on in envy.
Okay. Grab their feather hats, exactly. Take them back to Hat USA. We've got new Sea People hats available, folks. Stop by, get your very own authentic Sea People hat, taken right off the corpse of one of our enemies. This is going to give us extra influence faction-wide. That is actually pretty sweet. Let's do that. Get another court action.
It
We're a
is
little
time
bit
we counted
low
cattle
here
and
with the
coin
old
and
lawgiver.
listened to the
Let's
people.
throw some gossip around. And let's get back up here and see what is available to us next. Did we finish? Yeah, we finished the turn in, so we've got our siege ladders available now. It says we're going to take medium casualties. We might. I mean, I don't know. Like, they've got a few decent units, but let's go ahead and fight this one. I'll throw in a siege battle here. I don't really like these. I kind of feel like they're a waste of time, but I'll throw it in here just so that if anybody's wanting to see it, that I cover it. And I don't just annoy them all. Alright, let's hop in here. We're going to have 4 siege ladders. Legamus says he always thought of the sea people coming from Crete. Is it true that we don't really know who the sea people were? Like, there's not, like, solid evidence. They just kind of guess. I don't know much about this, and I honestly never even heard of the sea people until this game. Let's see here.
A siege is good for the soul.
Siege is good for the soul? I don't know about that, but I'm glad you're feeling excited about the opportunity. I'm gonna try...
King of Hattusha.
Alright, let's see here. I also hate how far back they start you and how long it takes to get all your equipment to the walls. It's another reason why siege battles are just kind of like a snore fest. Just end up spending a ton of time just waiting for your units to even just get to the walls.
Strike with purpose.
Can't necessarily put my ladders up everywhere I want to. Can people chop the gates? They can. Might use some of my axes to go up and chop through the gates.
With me, men.
Alright. There we go. It says, yeah, they don't really know who they were. It's a mystery. That's kind of cool. At least that leaves, like, you know, CA a little bit of that creative authority here because they don't know exactly who they are. So maybe that's a little bit of the mystique that they get to go after. I would wonder, were the Minoans the ones on Crete? Because that kind of has me wondering. Again, I saw that in the chat, and I would kind of tend to lean that direction too. Hey, maybe Atlantis was a real thing too. Before it sunk, the Atlanteans were out here raiding all these guys, or I don't know if that's the right time frame.
With me, men. Move.
We'll claim it's a bunch of Atlanteans. Phoenicians, Britons even, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. It'd be cool if it was Phoenicians, because that would have been Hannibal's ancestors.
In Hati's name.
Alright, I've got some archers that moved up. I'm going to lay a little fire into these Phrygian skirmishers. Those guys are going to be brutalizing my troops bringing the ladders up. Probably shouldn't have put my axe unit up here because they're limited. Eee, that's going to hurt. Stop it. You quit throwing those javelins at me, you meanies. Don't do it. Alright, I've got them under fire. Ladders are there. Time to start crawling up the walls. I'm going to have a second wave of troops ready to head up the ladders.
Soldiers of Hati.
And then let's also see if we can
Attack the gates.
start working our way through the gates. Our archers are going to be limited in their effect. They're not going to be great up against units on the walls. A lot of our shots are going to miss, or other stuff like that. That's kind of to be expected. It looks like our axemen got up that ladder pretty clean, actually. They have their own axe unit up here, though, which I'm not thrilled about facing.
for just cause.
Let loose your arrows!
Wherever I need.
As the bottoms of those ladders start to clear out, I'll start sending a second group up. Our archers are doing a decent job of starting to whittle that down. I'm going to actually try and use our axemen. There we go. Start bringing the second unit up these ladders.
Ready for battle! They cannot escape now!
Alright, so I've got second units headed up the ladders.
Anything for victory!
And I've got a unit working on the gatehouse. Chopping through a gate with swords would be interesting. I'd kind of like to see that in real life, if I'm being honest.
We have wounded them!
Chopping through a gate with a sword. Alright.
For the 1,000 gods! March, brothers! March!
Our numbers are certainly going to let us have the victory here. The question is how much damage we take, because they do have some of these tier 3 spear units, which are going to be decently powerful. But I've got 2 units rushing up each ladder against their 1 unit, so I'm hoping that'll give us some benefit. The gatehouse is being torn down as well, and when the gatehouse opens up, I'm going to have a pretty good number of swords pushing through there as well. I'm actually thinking I might push through there with Suppiluliuma, because his axes should chop through those shields a lot more effectively. Got additional units that I can throw into the fight over here. Their axes are holding up pretty well against me over here. The ladders are a little slower to get all your guys to the top versus like a siege tower, which is obviously kind of a downside with them, but they did construct a whole lot faster. So I'll take what I can get at this point. It is going to take a while to cut through that gatehouse. Alright, I'm going to fast forward at this point, because again, it's always hurry up and wait when it comes to siege battles, so here we are. Hurry up and wait it is. I really wanted you to go up this ladder, actually, so... Send extra reinforcements to all these ladders and just kind of keep the pressure up.
We are exhausted!
Alright, slowly, surely...
Never surrender!
Did we get dumped on by like some kind of gatehouse trap here? Because some of our guys are damaged here. I don't know if they got hit by javelins or if we're getting like hit by a murder hole or something. Hot oil back in Rome 1, wasn't it? Medieval 2.
Spears! I'll got you!
Why are you going to the other ladder? This one's open.
With me, man!
Use that ladder.
Soldiers of Hati!
There you go. Alright. Maybe they're chopping each other up while they're trying to chop through the gate. Let's see. Wiggyegg wants to know how far I am into the campaign. I don't remember how many turns. We should be able to see here just momentarily. Did the gate just open? Like, I'm trying to chop the gate down and it's open. Probably not the smartest move on the part of the enemy there.
Break their spirits!
Can I just start moving, guys? No, it's gonna close. Ha, sweet!
Smash it down!
I mean, the laws of physics there, I guess, just don't apply. The gate opened and then closed right through my own men, so... A little bit of CA please on that one.
We fight for Hati!
Cripple them!
Pry them open!
Little bit of CA please there. Oh, now my guys are going up the ladders too, so that's some more CA please. My guys got stuck inside the gate, and now they're trying to go up the ladders to get through. I've got Suppiluliuma working on the gate. His axe is chopping through it much more effectively. So I guess I should have used him.
Tear down their defenses!
I don't have any stances to push people.
Victory away!
Suppiluliuma might have that stance, but I don't believe any of my units have the push stance at the moment, or else I would love to
Soldiers of
push them. All I have is like defensive stances at the moment. But yes, that could be handy at the gatehouse if you had such a stance available.
Swords! Destroy them!
Hatti will not fall.
Let's see if I can pull Suppiluliuma a little
Hatti's
farther
name.
through the gate here.
Follow your king.
Swords! Hurry! My armor is worn through!
You have made your grave.
Alright. We are definitely winning the push on the walls.
In Hatti's name.
Just by sheer numbers, really, at the moment.
Swords!
And we should win the push here at the gatehouse. Actually thinking about disengaging Suppiluliuma here and seeing if I can
It must be done!
get these spear guys kind of stuck on a different one of my units over here.
With me!
And then I can use Suppiluliuma to get completely around these guys. So like right over here, I'm gonna move them this way. See if I can get completely around behind this fight and end it faster. Yeah, like this.
Honor bound.
Die!
Triumph awaits.
There we go.
For honor.
Now we're all the way in around and behind that fight. Now Suppiluliuma ought to do well here. These are all shielded units, and he gets a bonus versus the shields, and he has really good armor piercing damage. So I would expect to see him start cleaning up some pretty serious kills here. It's also got decent-ish melee attacks. Not amazing, but it's good. And if we wrap up their leader, I would imagine that's pretty much going to do it for the rest of their troops. That spear unit that's kind of helping protect him is almost gone at this point. And then our units on the walls are gaining a pretty solid victory. I might actually take this unit down and see if we can get on the other side of that axe unit. That spear unit is pretty well beaten down here.
Swords! Soldiers of Hatti!
Alright. We've definitely got these guys in a vice grip here. These guys have armor piercing and a bonus versus shield as well. I'm gonna actually put them in to melee. Oh, I think their commander died. Yep, he did. So their commander's dead. That ought to pretty swiftly turn this fight against the defenders. Alright. Well, not much left for our enemies here. I'm gonna fast forward. We've pretty well got this one under control. Just gonna finish crushing the enemy units here at the walls and gates. And I would expect this should turn into a full-on chain route. Like a contagious chain route. There we go. I got you all a siege battle in, so for those who were wanting it, there we go. They're not my favorite. It was a little better with the ladders because we didn't have to sit there as long, but the ladders also have the downside of, you know, giving your guys no protection. And it's very slow to get your men to the top of the wall, but I guess an option's better than no option.
For the glory of Hatti.
We're going to occupy their settlement. This is a stone-producing settlement, so we're going to have a lot of stone on our hands.
I am blessed.
Enough that we can do a lot of building, or we could consider starting to trade this off. Other factions. Let's take a look at the building tree available to us here. Influence in this province would be very handy. Very handy indeed, because with this low influence, it's definitely hurting our ability to produce. So I'm going to keep this Hall of Records. In fact, I may go ahead and improve it. And then what do we have here? Tax administration. So it produces extra resources at the cost of some happiness. I don't know that we have a lot of happiness to spare at the moment. We do have a recruitment facility here, which is... Got Kaskin Raiders. Alright, these are some pretty solid axemen here, which we could add to our army. And this is those renowned Phrygian javelins and the heavy chariots and stuff. So we now have access to those units they were recruiting. That's a big deal. I think what I'm going to do, actually, maybe is just upgrade the governor's villa, and then we can add more buildings to be what we want here. I'll improve the garrison here soon. It looks like our allies have already arrived in part of this region as well. Yeah. Is this some of our allies back here? I believe it is. Our allies have been pushing in hard. There's a food-producing settlement back here that would be good to get a hold of if we hurry.
I will not let
I would like to get to it. Plus, it'll give us more outpost potential here, too. And then that would essentially get rid of Phrygia as an enemy and really help us out here, because we're starting to gain some fairly significant territory here. That is a good deal indeed. So I feel like we've made some pretty significant progress here after running into a wall of bronze early. I feel like things are definitely going better now. We have unassigned skill points for both of our commanders as they won them some battles. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this upgrade tree. I mean, I've already committed to it this far. I might as well finish it up, and then I can decide in future campaigns whether or not I thought that was a good idea. And it should pretty significantly be reducing our upkeep. Right, and it says that we still have a wave of sea people. Yep, they have another army here. So we're not done with our fights against the sea people at the moment. But I think we can take this army out for the second time here. Grab some loot from them, keep getting some experience points for this commander and his army. It's not going to hurt anything. Yeah, this is nice loot to get right here. Extra food, extra bronze. It's helping us with the two categories that we need help with. I'm actually going to head into, again, an ambush stance and kind of see where this other army of raiders moves to. And we will take care of them once we get the opportunity.
Shemsu Hor begins. It is the time to take stock and take note.
Already used gossip. Already used that too. I don't know, just do something. Thought I said we had a court action. Maybe it was just trying to show me this. Alright. Oh good, we can get extra food production here. I'll take that. Happiness is improving. Influence is good. Influence is improving here as well, I believe. Yes, it is. Sweet. And we can get extra food production at Ziplandia as well. Good. Let's start to close some of the gap on that food production.
Righteous King of Hatti.
Be pretty good to increase the replenishment capabilities of Suppiluliuma at this point too. I think we can catch up with the food. I might start pouring points into his ability to improve replenishment. I feel like that could make a big difference as we push forward farther into the game as well. I don't know who these guys are, but they've declared war on my vassal, so we're gonna join the side of my vassal. Where are those guys? I think it was a Sea People faction, wasn't it? Had the same shape icon there. Yeah, I think it was a Sea People faction. Maybe if there is more than one faction. Which I suppose there could be.
King of Hatti.
I'm gonna go ahead and just push hard here towards that enemy settlement. I want that settlement. I don't see my allies pushing towards it yet. I don't know what, if any, garrison they have back here. Again, I don't have eyes on it. But I want that settlement for some extra food production. This bronze, I mean, was absolutely critical. We had to have it. I'd see now that we are up to 40% influence, which I believe means we're not suffering any more hit to bronze production. So hopefully that will kick up rather soon. So happiness, though, still has some to be desired, but that's expected. That is expected at this point. Alright, we got another court action on our
Be
hands.
seated, peers of the court. We have
Do
much
a little
work
good
to
old
do.
gossip here. Settlement upgrade available at Hattusha. Okay, we can build up Hattusha here too. Let's do that. Outpost. What do we got here? We got the shrine. Which, speaking of, let's go back and look at the deity thing. We are actually getting close to being able to have the second tier here. How do we devote a general? Has anybody done this before where you it says the general you devote to this god will receive these bonuses? Do you just do we go to I've not done the devoted general thing here.
glory.
Let's details, effects, records, rename, replace. Inspired. No. Pungle says he's waiting for someone to mod the Tomb Kings into this game. Boy, that would be fun. How do we devote a general here? Items, diplomats. Okay, so this is like our... Do we stop by a shrine? Like, do we have to take him through a shrine built to that deity? I know that's how we do the prayer. Alright, we'll figure it out. I want to figure out how to devote one of them. Imminent rebellion at Kanesh. That's not good, but I do have an army nearby. So,
Endless aggression.
we have a very poor garrison there.
We must be ruthless.
I'm actually
There
gonna...
is nothing to fear.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a bronze settlement they just tore down there, though.
A rugged world suits me.
Is Kanesh walled?
I will ascend.
I want that bronze settlement over here.
Forward,
I'm
men.
gonna move up over here and head into an ambush stance, and if I can get a hold of another bronze settlement,
Stick
that
to
would be
cover.
absolutely clutch. Unfortunately, though, my ally has taken a bit of a beating through here from some of these guys. Let's end our turn. I'm gonna have to deal with that invasion, but I'm not worried about that rebellion as much as I am really wanting to get a hold of that bronze. But we also need to get rid of that Sea People army that was over here raiding as well. So there's both that we need to be able to take care of. Yeah, I'm into the court. We can look at the turn. Someone was asking me how far away, and we're 44 turns in, so not a terribly long ways in.
Hati will rise
These guys
again.
actually marched away from me, unfortunately, but I do have pretty stout garrisons all along this front, so they're not going to find any easy pickings
Born
here.
to spill blood. Keep your eyes open. Kill them all.
I want this settlement.
This land is mine for the taking.
Yeah, snagging some bronze production. That's going to be big. If we can start pumping some bronze out here, then we would be into some pretty significant business. Only got 7. They're going to
Touching
gain
me costs a
another...
hand.
I'm going to have to bounce back and protect that. Honestly, though, this is probably a bad move because it's going to leave this one open to just being raided by these guys on the next turn as well. There's multiple armies of them
No
now.
time for chatter.
There's a whole wave of them here.
Concern me.
But like I said, I have decent garrisons around here. Oh, and Kyra never got taken, so the Phrygians still have that settlement. That's frustrating.
I serve
And they are
Hati.
trying to get a garrison put together here, but that's going to fail.
Start the assault.
Says, bring up the god, put picture in frame at god's feet. Okay, I'll go take a look at it, because I do want to get one of our leaders dedicated here, because those are some pretty sweet bonuses. we would
The
get.
Hittite Empire
Oh my gosh, man. It feels good having the bronze situation dealt
Experience
with.
grants wisdom.
Say, so this is a food producing building. We can build 2 different food producing buildings, which means we probably should. Workforce growth, happiness. We do need happiness. Workforce growth, I'm a little less concerned about. Let's tear that down. And then let's go ahead and exit this screen. Let's build that. And then I'm gonna improve the food production here and then build the other buildings. So that'll give us pretty substantial food production. And then we can work on the outpost here as well. And we can boost that production further yet. So like if I go look at outpost, we've got the economic outpost there, there, and there. So yeah, we're gonna be getting boosted food production. Excellent. So, whew, this has me feeling a little bit better about some of the stuff we're facing.
The 1,000 gods bear witness. We are called to noble work.
Let's go into our deity again. Devote a general. Thank you. I had not noticed that. Gain enough favor to reach tier 2 before we can devote a general. Alright, excellent. So we just need to gain a little bit more favor, which means probably build a shrine. We've got one there. I don't know if you can build more than one. You can, so I'm going to build another shrine there. I'm going to go ahead and construct that instantly, actually, because I want to check this out. So I constructed it. That should give me enough favor, I believe. So now let's go back to the local deity, and there we go. Devote a general. I didn't know I had another general here. I don't even know who that guy is. Is that my ally? And let's devote Suppiluliuma to him.
Mighty one.
And that should now give us the benefits. So he's going to get 15% charge bonus, 18% melee damage, 18% speed, and then extra bonuses. If we get all the way up to tier 3, then that improves further to 25%, 24%, 26%. Wow, yeah, that is a big gain. I definitely, that is handy. I like this. It took me a while to figure out this deity thing. That's kind of neat. The bonuses and how you get dedicated. I'm down with this. So this is good. It's a nice touch here. Thanks for the tip in the chat there, Bran. Getting me sorted out as far as getting someone dedicated to the right god there. I appreciate it. That was super helpful.
All will tremble.
That was going to be my final upgrade to this one. I got full stop there. Awesome. Let's get to Suppiluliuma. Might actually, like I said, I'm going to start maybe working some on that replenishment. Pick up that replenishment quicker and get right back into battle. Alright, so we devastated Phrygia up here. They still have Ankara. We need to deal with this guy. If my allies were going to help me somewhere, it'd be cool if we could focus our efforts here, and then gotta go deal with that rebellion too. Alright, I'm gonna have to go. I'm pretty much out of time for tonight. But this has been fun. I feel like I've learned a few really important things here tonight about how the game functions, like the deity, devoting a general to the deity. I feel like I've learned a little bit more about Outpost and how to use the Outpost. I learned about the influence piece. That was important. So, oh, those sea people went straight for my bronze settlement. Because why not? Because why not? Wow, they got up there quick, too. Is it sieged?
My focus is supreme.
Ambition fail. I'm not really worried about that ambition.
For Hati's glory.
I've got to get back over here and protect my newfound resources. Where did those guys come from? I thought they were all further south. These guys are going to come back and hit this bronze settlement. I shouldn't have done that, like, immediate build thing there, because now I'm just going to end up losing that, because I do have to go put down this rebellion over here.
Hati will rise again.
So a little bit of a mistake, but I think we'll still be alright, as long as one of our allies doesn't just come back and immediately resettle that. Why is this deity thing, like, got the little notification? New devoted general slot has been unlocked. Okay, I used it. So... Alright, that's going to be it for now. People were saying get as many gods as you can. I'll work on that next time. We'll go see if we can unlock some more deities. I want to say we saw that in the Royal Decrees, right? Or was it buildings that we built? What's the point of having a search? But yeah, anyway, we'll get to that on the next one, so we'll focus on maybe trying to get some more deities. We'll continue to focus on food. We've got bronze in a good place, which means we can start recruiting a fair number of bronze required units, which means our armies should be able to get substantially stronger, or at least being able to put some better units into a couple of our armies. So appreciate everybody who watched live. Thanks for those who are watching afterwards. Thank you for the tips and support. I will see you all next time with some more action in Total War Pharaoh as we continue the fight as Suppiluliuma. See you then.